Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, local authorities give themselves a thumbs up for the marketing of Mass Dominic 2020. CARICOM heads serious about regulating the digital economy. And a Dominican is Commissioner of Police in Antigua and Barbuda. The details coming up.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better. A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
First up in the news, officials of the Discover Dominica Authority are pleased with the marketing of Mass Dominic 2020.
Speaking to media earlier this week, marketing executive with the Discover Dominica Authority, Samantha Later, says to date, feedback on regional marketing strategies has been very positive.
The days are quickly approaching for the countdown to Mass Dominic, and we are happy to announce that our marketing throughout the region and locally have been going very well. We just had some interviews done this morning in the region, and persons have already expressed that they have booked and they will be coming. I'm sure you've seen the increased numbers of persons who are already here on island for our celebrations.
Later says several regional media houses are expected in Dominica to cover the festivities.
But I really want to touch on Tempo Network, who will be with us for Carnival this year. They're coming in to do some coverage of the events for the weekend and also to take part in Mass Dominic activities on the road. I think they've been being part of one of the costume bands, so we're really looking forward to having Tempo. They have been putting out the word out there already, and what I think I'm getting from it, that persons are realizing how unique Dominica's carnival is, and I think this is what we need to always maintain, the uniqueness of our carnival, mixing the traditional and the contemporary mass into one. I also want to mention Trend Media, who would also be here doing their coverage of carnival. They have Loop news across the region, so we're looking forward to having them experience the destination and also our carnival activities.
The Carnival Street Parades are scheduled for Monday 24th and Tuesday 25th February.
In more news now, Miss World Europe 2019 is hoping to push her platform of greater care for the disabled community to the wider world.
Ophelia Mezzanu, who is in Dominica as a special guest for the Miss Dominica pageant, won the Miss Guadeloupe pageant in 2018, the Miss World Europe pageant in 2019, placed first runner-up in the Miss France 2019 pageant and first runner-up in the Miss World pageant last year. Ms. Mezzanu, who is a CODA, that is, a child of disabled adults, began advocating for the better treatment of disabled people even before she entered pageantry.
My both parents are deaf, and I have some difficulties in my life with this situation. So I do a lot of humanitarian projects before being a miss, and for me, that was logical to give my voice to people in need. And So I'm the patron of the association Bébé en Outre-Monde in Guadeloupe for the deaf people and the reconnaissance of deaf culture in Guadeloupe and in metropolitan France.
Ms. Maisonneuve hopes to use her platform in pageantry to create an enabling environment for individuals with disabilities.
As a coder, I want to sensitize the population of the difficulties of deaf people, at first in Caribbean, but also in France, metropolitan France, because we have a lot of disparities between the Caribbean and metropolitan France. So it was my first mission to sensitize the population. And after, with the Miss World pageant, I have the opportunity to create a project, which is I want to create a house for deaf people at first in Guadeloupe and also around the world. So maybe in the future we have the opportunity to create this house at first in Guadeloupe and maybe around the world.
Ophélie Maisonneuve was born in Réunion Island and moved to Guadeloupe when she was young. She currently resides in France. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
In other news now, Secretary General of CARICOM, Ambassador Erwin LaRocque, says it's imperative that CARICOM states collaborate in confronting their common challenges. Speaking at the opening of the 31st Intersessional meeting of CARICOM heads in Barbados, Ambassador LaRocque said the heads were meeting at a time of increasingly complex and challenging global issues which should be tackled together.
Whether it is the imperative of making significant progress with the single market and economy, securing our financial sector, safeguarding our fiscal sovereignty, enhancing our technological capability and capacity, protecting the health and security of our people, expanding our foreign outreach, it is with one goal in mind. We have to build a resilient Caribbean community.
Ambassador LaRocque says this would require an all-inclusive approach that embraces the skills, talents and resources of the public and private sectors, labor, civil society and the youth.
It also requires cooperation and assistance from our friends in the international community. These combined and coordinated efforts will serve us in good stead as we strive to build that resilience to combat the challenges that we face, most particularly the existential threat of climate change. The decisions by our heads of government to engage regularly with the private sector, labor and civil society is an indication of our determination to be more inclusive in our deliberations and to embed an all-of-society approach to our development efforts.
Dominican Atlee Rodney, Antigua's newly confirmed Commissioner of Police, pledges to make that nation the safest in the world. The Antigua Observer is reporting that Atlee Rodney was confirmed as Commissioner to the Royal Police Force of Antigua and Barbuda on Tuesday. Rodney, a strong supporter of capacity building, says the more equipped your men and women are, the better they can perform. He says, I quote, infrastructure is also lacking, and this, he believes, is affecting their ability to give the best service to Antigua and Barbuda because of the conditions. Rodney, who enlisted in the force in 1982, says at the top of his priorities is increasing officers' visibility. He says, I want the community to see their police officers. Rodney, who has 38 years service within the organization, acted in the position for almost 2 years. And the CARICOM heads seriously considering or looking into regulating the digital economy. The CARICOM chairman says the appropriate regulation of the digital economy extends beyond prices, services and taxes.
Prime Minister Mitchell recognizes this, as do other lead prime ministers for different areas that are affecting our society. Our people must therefore be safe from cyberbullying, from disinformation, from graphically violent language and images, from hate speech, from discriminatory and racial and xenophobic speech. Prime Minister Mitchell's team shall be working with all of the other organizations within the region and the international community to ensure that we keep abreast of these developments.
Regional transportation is another key issue which CARICOM heads have been grappling with.
We have recognized that we need to be able to resolve the issue of transport, and that is a work in progress. While all of the members of the Conference of Heads are not shareholders in LIAT, it is fair that it is necessary for me to report that LIAT now has a new board with a renewed mandate to be able to ensure that regional affordable transportation is made available to Caribbean people. To run a country without transport is to condemn that country. Similarly, to run a community without affordable transport is to condemn that community. Indeed, we are conscious, as we welcome the Honorable Francois-Philippe Champagne with us today, that he is here in the stead of his Prime Minister, who, because of similar reasons for blockade of transport, cannot be with us. And we empathize with the people of Canada as they resolve this difficult challenge that they are facing this week. We look forward, however, not just to being able to resolve matters of air transport, but we also want to move aggressively towards the resolution of the maritime transport issues.
You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Si ou ni maladie HIV et bien maladie sexuelle, si ou pas protéger corps lors qu'on est sexe avec plusieurs monde, ça peut mettre la vie ou à gros danger. Ou peut exposer tout partenaire au poison et que ça qui va venir avec maladie. Servez un condom chaque fois ou qu'on est sexe. Changer qui est important pour découvrir maladie à bonheur ou ça vivre en bonne santé même si ou ni maladie HIV. Pour responsabilité, protéger corps et puis les autres. Examiner corps. Aidez de bout si même maladie HIV et l'autre maladie sexuelle.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. The European Union's blacklisting of Caribbean countries is an issue which former chairman of CARICOM Alan Chasney believes must be pursued by new CARICOM chairman Mia Motley. Chasney told CARICOM heads in Barbados this week that under his leadership efforts were made to address the issue, but the work must continue. He says the goal is to see such discriminatory practices stopped. Dominica was taken off the OECD blacklist in June 2019.
Another CARICOM delegation interfaced with the European Union on the troubling issues of blacklisting, which continues to this day. Member states of the community, however, continue to take the necessary steps to comply with the demands of the regulating agencies. But while they do, countries in our region are still being penalized. Some of us remain on the grey list, while only one member state remains on the blacklist. We must continue working until all of us are off the list. But more importantly, we must make every effort to ensure that this undemocratic and discriminatory practice of a public blacklist is discontinued.
Chasney says the lack of resolution of the situation in Venezuela is also of concern to CARICOM.
So far, all efforts at mediation have failed. In fact, from all indications, conditions in Venezuela continue to deteriorate despite a recent lull, and this is likely to make finding a solution even harder. The involvement of outside forces in the controversy, however, could only escalate the crisis and make a resolution that more difficult, while at the same time testing and stressing our own attempt at a common position on that issue. Again, I want to thank the leadership of Tim Harris, Mia Motley, and Prime Minister Rowley on continuing and leading the efforts for CARICOM on the Venezuela crisis.
Meantime, the new chairman of CARICOM, Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley, says the community must do some introspection even as it seeks to tackle the impact of global challenges, including that of climate change. Mottley says there are limitations which must be addressed if the grouping is to effectively implement its goals.
The CARICOM Secretariat, which keeps us together, is now functioning with 30 million Eastern Caribbean dollars less than it did 10 years ago. The CARICOM Secretariat is now functioning with less than 40 people less than it did 30 years ago. But we demand more of them against the challenges that I identified at the outset of my speech. And we therefore need to ask ourselves whether we have the appropriate governance and funding models to ensure the sustainability of this family movement that is so vital to our being able to bring prosperity to our citizens.
She says to have parliaments without a functioning executive is to have an idle exercise in frustration which could not work.
I ask us today whether the time has not come for us to recall the Rose Hall Declaration in Jamaica in 2003 that led to Prime Minister Gonzalez leading a prime ministerial subcommittee on the entire issue of governance within our community and our ability to be able to ensure effective execution and seamless implementation of decisions taken by heads of government at this, our highest decision-making body within our community. And for us to believe that we can have a heads of government conference twice a year that will allow us to make decisions that have the force of law without the capacity to seamlessly execute is an idle exercise for us as well.
And one social club here is helping to grow the carnival culture among the youth. Junior Chamber International JCI Dominica was revamped 4 years ago and has a number of social enhancement projects under its belt. Last year, the club, in collaboration with Discover Dominica Authority, revived the Kiddies Carnival, which had faded off the carnival calendar over the years. The event is scheduled for Sunday, 23rd February, and PRO of the Kiddies Carnival Committee of the JCI, Movilia Robinson, says the club is committed to ensuring the longevity of the carnival culture through the country's youth.
We are trying our best to instill the carnival culture in our young generation while inciting them to use as much as local material for costumes. The event will begin at 12 p.m. and end approximately at 7 p.m. Carnival Kiddies section will consist of 4 sections. We have confetti for children under 12 years, slime for children under the ages of 12, powder and paint for those above 12 years. There will be a roadshow parade where the kids will display their different costumes and activities while following a truck, playing music like normal carnival Mondays and Tuesdays for adults. From the parade, the kids will enter and make their way to the stadium forecourt and have a great experience.
Kiddies Carnival 2020 will be held under the theme, I Am a Kid, Grow the Rhythm, Grow the Mass. And Jude J.D. Deloney is winner of the 2020 Stardom Calypso Monarch of the 10th competition. When all was said and done, it came down to 3 Calypsonians, J.D., Tasha P. and Saw Saw. First runner-up in second place was Tasha P. In second runner-up position was Saw Saw singing the popular I Enjoy My Life. J.D. was presented with his winning trophy. He also received a check from Big Edge Financial Services. The other competing Calypsonians all received participating trophies.
We out on the road, mama time to unload. We out on the road, no place on earth can do it like we. Only mass make we bury, and we must be see. Oh gosh.
They should tell you early, they don't want you, they don't need you, but they breathe on somebody else. Make some noise out.
Drink from, give it from. I live life, and sell that. I enjoy my life. I
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
To end the news, look again at the headlines. Local authorities give themselves a thumbs up for the marketing of Mass Dominic 2020. CARICOM heads serious about regulating the digital economy, and the Dominican is Commissioner of Police in Antigua and Barbuda. You may access the news on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.